That shit that they was doing with the satanic shit and the sacrifices.
Yeah, you don't know what you're signing up as far as that. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Smoke on. It's probably only chronic and I smoke on. Smoke on. Smoking on chronic. Smoke on.
What up with it, y'all? I'm S2G.
And I'm Ron Kilo.
And this is another episode of Cannabis Critics.
Movie reviews for Potheads.
Right. Let's get to the point that the whole reason why I watched this movie was because Shia LaBeouf. Let's all keep it 100.
Now, going into this movie, I was not expecting the direction they took this movie. The elements they had involved and kind of the far out there things that worked. But initially, if you pitched me this idea, I would have been like, where are you going with that, good sir? I felt like religion played a major focal point with this plot.
All the advertisement and all that stuff, you didn't see cult like underlying tone to it.
But the plot. So it starts out with Bobby Soto. He's in power. From the exposition you're given throughout the tax collecting and all that, you kind of piece together who these two guys are and what exactly the purpose is and what they're doing when they make these runs. So they go at house to house, not selling Girl Scout cookies. They're there to collect.
Right. They just let you know that Bobby's dad was like a shot caller on the streets. So I liked it that.
Now, what they didn't show you was Bobby Soto actually putting in some work. Yeah, throughout most of the movie, he was a mouthpiece. And that was kind of like surprising, but I felt like that was a writer's choice to do that. So when he actually took care of business, he took care of business.
I ain't gonna lie, man, for real. At the beginning of the movie, I was kind of like thinking that this dude was like super fucking soft and had just, you know, motherfuckers scared of him because of Creeper. But in our reality, like he said, at the end, well, not at the end, as the movie went along, it shows you that, yeah, Bobby did have a pair of his own.
So you got him tax collecting. He's running his routes. Everything's been pretty good up until this point. And then a rival member comes back into town. Collection's not going so smoothly. And this problem here can't go unanswered.
One collection go real bad and lets them know that shit's finna change.
Because the rival member actually makes itself known.
Yeah.
Conejo.
Yeah, Conejo. But Conejo comes through another guy that Bobby's already collecting from.
Vito.
Yeah. So the fact that Venom feels like, hey, you did some dirt to me a long time ago. Now I got some back from the other side of the cartel that's not your daddy. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to be able to make a move. Bobby
Right.
didn't like
So
that.
I don't have to pay you. So then Conejo comes in and he says, this is my money.
Join us, and it can become some of your money once again.
So he puts the deal out there. On top, you know, my boy Shia LaBeouf, Soto, they not going for that.
Creeper was like, boy, you got me fucked up. Let me put a bullet in all their heads. You know, that's how Creeper is.
Man.
You don't give a flying fuck. You cut your mama up.
Man, Creeper had a gun on every limb and in the trunk.
Man, oh man, some of them scenes with Shia LaBeouf were fucking just,
Real.
man, off the chain.
I felt,
He was like loving, right here. He was loving that role.
I think he watched Training Day a couple of days before he went to
Man, you would have traded that.
Man, you fucking serious, man?
I
They
mean-
chop Suey Denzel at the end.
Man,
Elizabeth with the
okay.
gauge. All that shit.
nigga, none of that shit was as bad as the shit they were showing in there.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
they got a little more graphical in Tax Collector. So I'm like, you compare Training Day. Training Day was dialed like a notch or two back.
That's only because Training Day was what, like 5-10 years before this movie?
And, okay. So I'm like, I don't feel it's fair to compare. It's a little age. Basically, with this plot and everything that's going on, you got this rival member, you got Soto and LaBeouf on the other side. He wanted it to be known that he was a heavy hitter. He had shooters or death.
Man, that was trained killers. These ain't just homeboys from the hood that grew up with Felipe and
He had the
Eugenio.
cartel, but he backed it up too from Mexico, because that's where he was in hiding. When Wizard was out doing his thing. So
Now, Bobby's uncle knew about him too. For real. And the crazy thing about it is George Lopez plays Bobby's uncle. And he went to his uncle and told his uncle about the situation. And I ain't even gonna lie, I seen he was scared a little bit.
crazy thing about that though, Bobby was right. Because
You
the
know?
next time they talked to Cornejo, George Lopez was in that icebox with his hands touching his face.
Man, they cut that nigga head off and his hands. You know what I'm saying? It's something to, ease the tone of the movie. This movie stays gritty from the beginning to the end. I like the fact that they had Bone in there doing his thing, for real, kicking ass and all kind of shit. For real, I thought they was gonna kill my nigga, but he made it, so that made me feel better about this movie too, that the black dude didn't get killed. I smoked me a couple blunts while I was watching this motherfucking movie, and I was highly entertained. Trust and believe. I even liked it, the emotional parts to it, because they killed my man's wife, they kidnapped his kids, he had to go get them back. It was all kind of shit going on in this movie. I would like to see Charlotte get to the end.
I wanted that, but then I thought about the story and how the plot was going.
Yeah, it was really about Bobby.
I felt like Shia LaBeouf's end for Creeper, his end was just. He was melting bodies down in the tub. He was shooting
Smoking
niggas that was chained up.
Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
For real.
yeah.
I
So
like
I'm gonna
it
go
there.
ahead and give it 5 blunts.
I ain't gonna say 5 blunts because Shia LaBeouf should have been all the way at least to the middle of the third act, so I'm just gonna give it 4.5. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's good smoking. I am S2G,
No, we're on Kilo.
and this has been another episode of Cannabis Critics Movie Reviews for Potheads. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the movie all the way at the end.
He died at 1 hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's like at the beginning of the third act.
The movie's 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the third act.
You said that's what you just said. He should have made it to the third act. He did, technically speaking.
Yeah, but he got, man, for real, to be honest, if you say...